Hey fellow photographer, how's it going? I'm Michael Zelbel. I'm really happy because I just received my Indra500 studio light. I would like to show you how I'm going to use this mobile flash, and I would like to walk you through the menu, kind of a quick start. I ordered the Indra with the battery kit because I like to be mobile. And I just received it, tried it out for a couple of photos, and I can already say it blends perfectly into the lighting gear that I'm using all the time. The Metros Plus speed lights, the Odin controller and that kind of things. I can control the Indra with the Odin from on camera. And sometimes we are shooting with two cameras alternating in my photo shoots, and then we are using a Metros Plus speed light in parallel as a second controller on the other camera. And of course the Indra can be controlled with that one as well. The performance of this flash, it's great. I can feel that when shooting fast, serious. In some situations, it's really handy when a flash supports TTL on events, for example, because I'm switching apertures over there from f2.8 for portraits to f5.6 or f8 for group shots, and I cannot control the distance of my subjects from the flash so well. And then it's good when the camera determines the flash setting really on the fly instantly, automatically. For all of that, it's good when the flash has got a huge power reserve and the Indra has got 500 watt seconds. That's quite powerful. To test the limits, I tried to shoot a portrait at f40. That's 40. And it works beautifully. Now, usually I never shoot on f40, but the power comes in handy also when you've got hungry light modifiers such as big softboxes. And of course when shooting outdoors using high-speed sync. Now, why would I do that? Well, let's say I want to shoot a beautiful portrait outdoor with shallow depth of field. Let's say f2.8 at ISO 200 and at my fastest sync speed, which is 1/200th of a second on my Canon 5D, I might find that the sky is about 5 stops overexposed. What I can then do is I just switch to high-speed sync on the Odin controller, and then I increase my shutter speed up to 1/8000th of a second. At this speed, the sky is nicely dark and saturated, looks beautifully, but without a strong flash, my model would be pitch black. However, the Indra plays along even at 1/8000th of a second. It's strong enough for such portraits, and it can do it even in TTL mode. I could go even further. I can close my aperture and turn the bright daylight scene into a night scene, or I can add a hair light by putting a speedlight behind the model. I can add the speedlight to group B on my Odin controller, and let's say I don't want to use TTL for that because the camera cannot really measure a hair light, but I want it on manual on 1/4 power. Since the Metros Plus speedlights are also high-speed sync capable and the Odin controller handles multiple groups, all of these units work beautifully together. And that's what I mean when I say the Indra blends perfectly into my existing gear, and that's how I'm going to use this flash. So how do I set it up for all of this? Well, let me walk you through the menu of the Indra. So it starts in menu 1, and over here there's the flash power. I can dial it up and down. I can dial the modeling light up and down. I can switch the mode from manual to stroboscopic, and I can switch the menu altogether. Now here is menu 2. There is a setting for the color. It's now dynamic, which means there's a green color in the display. I could switch to elegance, which would be blue color, or classic, which is black and white. Now I will probably do that when I have multiple Indras and then call one of them Hulk, that's the green one, and one of them Smurf, that's the blue one, but okay, completely different story. Now menu number 3, there is fine-tuning for this stroboscopic stuff, and you can switch if the display should go upside down automatically when you hang the Indra under the ceiling, let's say. Menu number 4, that's getting really interesting. Here is the stuff that I have to change. The receiver. Currently the receiver is off, which means the Indra would be triggered by a sync cord, but I need to put it to Odin controller for Canon. This is Odin-C. You also have Odin for Nikon, you have the Strato 2 controller, or you can drive it as an optical slave. All of that is fine, but I need Odin for Canon. Then there's a setting for fast series, which is currently turned off. I turn it on. What that means is I allow the Indra to always fire, even if it's not fully loaded. I mean, with a flash that is that strong, that's usually pretty much never happening, but I prefer it to fire in every situation whenever I hit the shutter, so I switch that one on. Then what I change is the sound. I prefer it to be off, but that's really a matter of taste. Other people prefer the signal that the flash is ready again. However, with that strong flash, I don't need a ready signal. I assume it's ready all the time. That's already everything I have to set up. From there on, it's completely listening to the Odin controller, and I set up everything, the flash power, the flash mode, like manual, TTL, high-speed zoom, and all of this stuff. I do it on the Odin controller right from on camera. Now, I hope this gives you a first impression of the flash and shows you how I am working with it and how I set it up, and hopefully also how you can use such a studio light in your photography. If you've got any questions, just post them below. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and check out my magazine at goodlightmag.com, because a whole lot of shootings with the Indra flash will be coming up over there. Until then, I wish you good light.